It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Minnesota Vikings and the Seattle Seahawks. Next on Madden NFL 25.
With Mount Rainier in the distance, there are few cities finer on a clear afternoon than this one, and we have a picture-perfect day for football at Lumen Field in Seattle. Happy to be on hand. I'm Brandon Gordon with Charles Davis, and before we kick, partner, your keys to the game, please.
Well, my keys are on the defensive side of the ball for both teams, and the big one, making sure you avoid giving up the big play. These safeties are going to get tested all game long. Their job, keep the ball in front of them, tackle people, make them run extra plays in order to try and score.
Here's the kicker, Jason Myers, to get this one started. And off we go from Seattle. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. They'll be led out by the third overall selection back in 2018 from USC. It's Sam Darnold.
And the thing with Sam Darnold is we know the skill set is there. May not be the most mobile or strongest arm quarterback in the league, but usually plays with really good poise, and at his best, like a point guard in basketball, able to move around and distribute the rock.
Faking the give, Darnold. And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end. They'll take that 14 yards on play number one.
This early in the game, it's all about making steady progress downfield, hoping to lead to early points. And you can do it with your actual play calls or sometimes something a little more improvised, as we just saw there.
To throw is Darnold. Open man is Jalen Naylor. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that'll bring up second down. A play fake, and it's Darnold. This one swung out here to Jones. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
I like it, I like it, I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so. It gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it, and really gets them amped up as they go forward.
In motion right is Addison. And now a fake on the jet sweep and a give to Jones. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Ernest Jones there for the tackle.
That was a really nice play, able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain. Off of play action, Darnold. A quick throw there is incomplete. And now on third down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first. Here's Darnold. He lets one go deep for Addison. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
One thing that offensive guys stress when they throw the deep ball, you're just counting on your receiver to find it, adjust before the defensive back can get his head around. In this case, though, the DB matched it move for move and knocked it away.
So on fourth down, Ryan Wright on to punt for Minnesota. Back deep is Jalen Darden. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. And they're led out by their mobile quarterback out of West Virginia. It's Geno Smith.
I still remember back in 2013 when he was drafted out of West Virginia. He was coming off of back-to-back 4,000-yard seasons for the Mountaineers. Hadn't seen as much game time in recent years, but at one point, a capable starter in the NFL.
Now Smith and the Seahawks going to come up 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. Geno now to throw. And the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. That one goes for 24 yards.
What an intelligent play as he found open grass and uncovered quickly. A nice clutch play to move the chains. The defense, they've got to do a much better job of accounting for these shorter routes.
First carry here for Kenneth Walker III. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
2nd down and 3. Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. Gets through and now an opening. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. It's a gain of 15. 1st down Seahawks. Couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? 5 or more yards each time. That's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going.
Good sign on the opening drive. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
He hits his target, Lockett, and he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Tyler Lockett, 26 yards. And the Seahawks are on the board first here this afternoon. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Jason Myers now for the extra point. And this will give the Seahawks a 7-0 lead. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it ends with a Tyler Lockett touchdown. After the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. The Vikings taking the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. The last series for them a little disappointing, forced a punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive. 1st and 10. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Jefferson moving in motion left. Here's a fake on the jet sweep, and instead a give up the middle. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
Setting up the screen here, Aaron Jones. Only a yard there. Sniffed out well defensively, and it brings up third.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. Back to throw, Darnold. Escaping the pressure right. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a first down.
Well, he and his offense were staring down what was likely a 3-and-out. Zero fear from his side, though. Never doubted for a second they'd pick up the first. He's ready to pull the trigger on a keeper the moment it revealed itself.
Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's 2nd and 4. Up the middle, Jones. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. They got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
That's all about doing the dirty work right there defensively. 2nd and short yardage, that's all about plugging those gaps, not giving the running back a crease to run through, and has a nice job to hold him just a couple and force a 3rd down.
They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he will have a Vikings first down, I do believe. Yes, he's got it by about a yard there on 3rd and 3.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and get the first down.
Darnold down to throw. Going underneath, he's got Hockenson. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end. A guy that you can line up anywhere. In the slot, out wide, in tight. Doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. Play action. It's Darnold. Going back to the same well, it's Hockenson again. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
They go back to the ground with Jones to about the 26 here.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
2nd down and 6 now from the 26. Now it's Darnold. That one out wide and intercepted. Picked off by Uchenna Nwosu. And the Seahawks will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their second drive. They'll start following the interception in great field position at the 45. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 45. Here's Walker to start the drive. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
They work now on 2nd and 9. A shotgun snap for Smith. It's caught. Lockett. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. He had the touchdown on the opening drive. Now he's got a 1st down.
Well, as a coach, you absolutely love seeing your offense find their rhythm early, and that's exactly what we've seen so far. They had a touchdown on their opening drive, and now they connect here for another nice gain for a 1st down. This offense is moving the ball well, exactly as he drew it up in practice.
Walker now on 1st and 10. Down to about the 37.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Now Smith. Smith and Jigbo hauling it in on the out route. So give him 2 yards there on the completion. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Now a play fake, and it's Smith. Turns out to be a great idea to tuck that one. Good for 24 yards. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Seattle, and it is the Seahawks with the football here. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. As they've got it as we resume action. They'll toss this out right to Walker. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
That was well defense right there. He saw the play in front of him and able to hold the point of attack. Then he sheds him and goes and makes a tackle for a loss.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Smith. And this will be caught by Metcalf for a Seahawk touchdown. A 14-yard touchdown. And the Seahawks go up by 2 touchdowns. And they use that height on the outside to get the score.
We've seen the evolution of the wide receivers. They've gotten taller and taller, but they've retained their quickness and their speed. It's a lethal combination.
Always good to have wide receivers with height. Now Myers for the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it's DK Metcalf who finishes things off with a touchdown reception. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. And out now come the Vikings. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Now Darnold. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there. It's 2nd down.
I certainly like what he did right there because he smartly wanted to avoid forcing anything downfield because nothing appeared to be open. Nice harmless slide there to avoid the big hit, and he gets a small gain on the play.
From the 50, it's Darnold. Over the middle and complete to Addison. Calling a gain of 3 on the play. And now we've got a 3rd and 4.
And I think he just wanted to get the ball to one of his playmakers to see if they can make something happen, but he ends up throwing into a crowded area. And after the catch, he isn't able to do much with it.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Darnold from the gun. That one complete to Naylor. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 38-yard line. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on 3rd down, and they keep the drive going.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. An inside give to Jones. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
And here's Jones again on 2nd down. And he's going to get this pretty close to a 1st down as the tackle is made at the Seahawks' 28. It'll go as a gain of 7 on the play, and it sets up a 3rd and inches situation.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Darnold. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Jordan Addison, 28 yards. And the Vikings have cut it back within a score.
When we draw up defenses on the board, we do account for every receiver. But on that particular play, somehow he was wide open, became an easy touchdown pass.
The try here for the extra point. And that one makes it 14-7. So this drive spans 7 plays. And Jordan Addison capped it off with a touchdown catch. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Now Smith and the Seahawks going to come up 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. Hands it to Walker to begin the series. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And the defense closes quickly there. He'll get maybe a yard to the 33. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Throwing is Smith. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Running left is Walker. And he's across the 45. It'll be 2nd down.
I think if we put together a job description for a middle linebacker, we would start with being able to hold down things in the middle of the line of scrimmage and be able to take on blockers. But how about the guys who can go sideline to sideline and make plays?
Love a guy that can do that. We saw a perfect example of it right there. Now it's Smith off the bootleg. Out to the right, he gets it to Lockett. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And now we've got a 3rd down and 3. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Smith and Jigba in motion right. Now Geno. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Jonathan Bullard able to drop him for a loss of 2, and that will bring up 4th down.
Well, that's what they have to do more of defensively. Not just getting sacks, but they have to keep getting in his face, not let him get his feet set and deliver. He's been carving them up previously.
Yeah, already has a couple of touchdown passes. About time they put a few grass stains on that jersey. On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. Brandon Powell deep for Minnesota. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. Minnesota's offense takes over possession. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. Again, it's Jones. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Here's Darnold. He throws it on the move but can't connect as that falls incomplete. So after 3 drives and 3 touchdowns combined between these two clubs, finally we get a defensive stop.
Yes, and welcome to the party, defensive players. And glad to have you because for a while there, it almost felt like it was 11 going downfield on air. Okay, so to be able to have someone come up, make a stop, now we got a football game going.
That'll be a 41-yard punt, 4 yards there on the return, and it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
Now it's Smith. Left side, he finds Smith and Jigba. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable 2nd down.
Ball spotted at the 45. Here's 2nd and a couple. They'll fake it. Now Smith. Going right back to Smith and Jigba. And he stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down. The offense on 3rd down, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. They'll try for the first with Walker. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the 2nd quarter. 14-7. Back to throw, Smith. Completes it to Fant on the right side. And that's good for a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down. Well, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point that continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
No chance to get away there for Smith as he goes down. Call it a loss of 5, a big sack to bring up 3rd down. Well, you could almost see his eyes light up defensively. I mean, as a linebacker, that's about as quick as you can get to a quarterback.
So what did your 3rd grade teacher teach you about straight lines, right? As soon as you have those, you take full advantage of them. He found a gap in the offensive line, got to the quarterback, and put him on the deck.
And now on 3rd down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first. From the gun, here's Smith. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
That one sails out of bounds. The side judge will walk it off. And he says it went out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Nice punt. And now out comes Minnesota. Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive. And they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety.
I have to think the sooner halftime can get here for them, the better, because that first half has been rough. And that safety, it only adds to their issues. The other sideline, though, I think they're fine if we just skip the break and keep playing.
And remember, following the safety, you give the football up as well, and they free kick it from the 20 now. Fielded just inside the 20. The Seahawks going to take over now late in this first half. And just inside of a minute left, Charles. They got a pretty long field ahead of them. I'm curious to see how they play this, but you would think definitely enough time to at least try to get 3 out of this.
Yeah, you want to move with a nice sense of pace. You want to up the tempo a little bit, but you have to do it with some poise as well. You don't want to go so fast that you hurry yourself into mistakes. There's enough time to put points on the board if they do it right.
And even though they have the lead, you know that they would love to extend this lead before heading to the locker room. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. Geno now to throw. This is Fant on the short completion, and he'll be stopped right at midfield. 11 yards there and a first down for Seattle.
Good strong throw and catch right there, and so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. From the 50, it's Smith. That'll be caught by Bobo. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. Second down and 6 now. To the air again, Smith. And that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Smith. And he's got this down to the 35. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call.
This is where the NFL is headed year by year, partner. A league where just about everyone has someone under center who can get you with their legs as well as their arm. And we've certainly had a nice display of that from both QBs in this game, and that continued with that first down run.
So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. It'll be spotted on the right hash, a 52-yard attempt. Myers' kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So when you factor in the safety, this now a 5-point swing.
And look, I'm not going to turn away a 5-point swing because 5 points, that's valuable. Don't get me wrong on this. But if they could have taken that safety and added 7 to it, now you're talking about a really big swing.
So still time for the kickoff here. 1 second to go in the half as this one is away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. A final shot before the break, Darnold. And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. So we are at halftime here in downtown Seattle with the Seahawks out in front. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach.
It was a former comeback player of the year, Geno Smith, who was sharp in the first half. His 2 touchdown passes helped pave the way for his guys to take this lead into the intermission. We were certainly treated to an entertaining first half. Both these teams with some high points and maybe a couple of low points as well. So it's going to be a question of who can be the most disciplined team going forward. All
right, Coach, thank you very much as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Seahawk offense set to go to begin this third quarter. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. And I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at second down.
Nice chunk of yards on first down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on second. You go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
From the 33, here's 2nd and 6. Play action. It's Smith. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. Multiple players getting home for the 1-yard sack. This defense coming out after the half, and if that plays any indicator, Charles, maybe a little refreshed and refocused here for quarters 3 and 4.
Yeah, they did really well on that one. That's exactly what they need to keep doing if they want to change their fortunes in this game.
Oh, it's out. Smith lost it. But it looks like one of the DBs has it. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. Well, CD, that's one of those plays you put a mark by. I mean, that could be a big momentum swing here on the opening drive of the third quarter.
Yeah, we may have to revisit it, right? Because if that drive ends up in the end zone, they're sitting pretty at that point. Now, instead, it's a 2-score game that has a chance to tighten up considerably.
It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. And they just got a little help from their defense forcing the turnover. Now can they make that pay off in points?
They need to, partner. They're down on the scoreboard. Need to take advantage of those opportunities, and this is a good one right in front of them.
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
After review of the play, ruling on the field is reversed.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. A 47-yard punt, maybe a couple on the return. And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for this second half.
And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. 64 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times. They went with the nickel look defensively, so they had 5 defensive backs in there. Didn't help them stop the run.
Yeah, I love that, the nickel look. 5 cents, 5 DBs. But what also happens then, you take a big body off the field in order to insert that guy. So you're taking a big off for a little. And oftentimes you can run the football effectively against that defense.
And a missed tackle there as he pushes forward for a gain of 4.
Well, you don't turn your nose up at a gain of 4, do you? They'll take that on first down. Playbook's got to be pretty well open on 2nd and 6.
from the 41. Here's a 2nd down and 6. To throw is Darnold. Open man is Naylor. He's got it. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
A gain of 9 yards. And the Vikings 1st down.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Just what they need, a lecture from me, but subpar offense is what helped get them into this spot. And now they're continuing the trend with incompletions. That won't get them out of it if they don't change something soon.
Here's 2nd and 10. Darnold. Setting up the screen here, Aaron Jones. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the 1st.
Well, I like the play design there. They occupied the defense downfield, everyone trying to account for someone. But unfortunately, they didn't account for the running back slipping out of the backfield, and he was absolutely unnoticed and wound up getting big yards on that play.
Darnold to throw again. Being chased out left. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the 1st down on a 13-yard run.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy, because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. Faking the give, Darnold. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete.
Yeah, their back's up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Out of the shotgun, it's Jones. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8.
But this play sequence was really kind of called in reverse. Incomplete pass on 1st and 10. Nice run on 2nd and 10 when probably everyone was expecting him to throw the football. Now, if you're the defense, what are they going to do on 3rd down? You're a little off balance.
This red zone is where the Seahawk crowd really makes it tough for an offense to communicate. It's 3rd down. Eluding the pressure right. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a 1st down.
There he goes, and for good reason. Running with it has paid dividends earlier in this game and earlier on this drive. And until they prove they can stop him, I don't think he's going to be shy about continuing to run for 1st downs instead of airing it out.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Now Jones. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
This is a critical sequence here for this offense. Things really haven't gone their way so far. This could be their chance to get back into it, but they've got to find a way to punch this ball in.
And they'll try the air now with Darnold. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a 3rd and goal.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there, because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay game.
And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Sam Darnold, a 6-yard touchdown run. And the Vikings have got it back to within a score.
Hey, you're down on the scoreboard, but now your offense is in close, and this is where, as a quarterback, you say, I've got to make a play here. Doesn't matter whether it's a pinpoint throw or a scramble like this one. He takes matters into his own hands and delivers a touchdown run.
Extra point forthcoming. And this is back to a 5-point game. That one in the books as a 12-play drive. And it's capped off by a touchdown run of 6 yards. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Seattle again getting ready to take over offensively. Still enjoying the lead here in the third quarter despite their defense giving up that last touchdown. Now they'll see if they can get the equalizer here on this drive. Now Smith and the Seahawks going to come up 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. Throwing now is Geno. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
Smith, an incomplete pass on 1st down. Now it's 2nd and 10. Up the middle, here's Walker. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the 1st. Smith. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a 1st down. With nowhere to throw it, decided to scramble, and a nice job, CD. Got the yardage that he needed.
Yeah, and his teammates are certainly going to appreciate that effort, even if his coaches don't, because they would have wanted him to slide and protect himself. But he chose team gain over personal protection.
And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 53 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
They'll try the air now with Smith. Throw out wide to Walker. 2 yards, good enough for a 1st.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Here's Smith. He'll get this complete to the tight end Barner. The result, only 4 yards there on the play, and it's 2nd down.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately because if you let that big guy get ahead of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. From the 46-yard line, a 2nd down and 6. Now to the ground, here's Walker. And he's going to be stopped just short of the 1st down marker at the Vikings' 40-yard line. It's a 6-yard run, leaves him with about a foot or so here still to go to hit the marker with 3rd down coming up.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Now a play fake, and it's Smith. He's got his target. That's complete. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a 1st down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Off of play action, here's Smith. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. How big is that penalty? Wipe out the INT.
You'd hate to be the teammate that caused that penalty and wiped out the interception. You got to face that guy in the locker room. Not a lot of fun for you, and you hurt your squad.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Smith. To the back of the end zone, but too high. Over everybody and incomplete.
And that's a wise decision. Remember, he threw the pick on the last drive. This time he says, I'm not forcing one. I'm just getting it out of here.
Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. Now Geno. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
To throw is Smith. Touchdown! Jackson Smith and Jigba from 6 yards away. And the Seahawks will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd. Well executed there offensively. Defense looked a little confused, but he found his receiver, and that one good for 6 points.
And the payoff we just saw there tells us how many times they ran this play in practice over the past few weeks, because they executed that flawlessly right here on game day when the situation arose.
The extra point now coming from Myers. And this one gives his guys a 12-point lead. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it was capped off by a Jackson Smith and Jigba touchdown catch. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Vikings offense and Aaron Jones headed back onto the field. And as you take a look at the numbers, you have to imagine he was the topic of the halftime talk for this defense. We've got to find a way to slow him down. That's probably what they're saying. But nothing that they have done has worked so far. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And right now, Charles, it just feels like they're trying to keep pace. They did score the touchdown last time out, but they still trail by double digits here. We'll see if this offense is once again up to the task.
Yeah, and I think that after the last drive, they've got to be pretty revved up, don't you think? Everything they were doing was working pretty well. They go back out there with the same mindset, putting the same tempo and the same pace. Still a lot of time left to make something happen in this one.
Now 2nd and 8 at the 32-yard line. Back to throw, Darnold. Pass complete to Naylor, right side. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. So both teams trade touchdowns in the 3rd as we're through 3 quarters of play. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Vikings in possession of the football, but they need some points. They're trailing here to start the 4th. And they'll send the tight end in motion. Here's Darnold. And that one goes incomplete. They tried something out of the bag of tricks, but it's incomplete and now 2nd down.
Give him big credit for his coverage right there, because when he saw the route break deep, he stayed in position to prevent a completion. while avoiding any risk of a flag.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. They'll fake the handoff. Now Darnold. Addison hauls it in. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Another good completion on the drive as the Vikings have a first down.
Good yardage on the completion there. And when they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Second down, another shot for Jones. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 99 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on 2nd and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the first down there, but they, as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down. Got exactly what they wanted there out of the RPO and had the defense out of position.
One word for you there, excellent, because he read all the keys properly, made the right decision, and look at the result. Pretty substantial gain.
A play fake, and it's Darnold. Steps away. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. The sack will push him back only a couple yards, but certainly not what they were hoping for on 1st and goal.
On any 1st and goal, the real estate to work with for the offense is really cut down, and the defense knows it. So they often bring heat and pressure, which they did on this play. Got him down for a loss. Not a big one, but any loss of yardage in this position is tough for an offense.
2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. From the shotgun, a give to Jones. And he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. T.J. Hockenson from 6 yards away. And the Vikings have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. So how about that for an answer? They get the touchdown there, and it's back to a 1-score game here in the 4th.
And that's what these guys have done all game long because they've scratched and slashed their way to stay in this game. And by now, we should all realize they're not going away. Now the pressure again swings to their defense because they're going to need to find some way to get the ball back.
Point after, right down the middle. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. A 10-play drive that time. And it was T.J. Hockenson who finished the drive with a touchdown reception. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Seahawks offense and Geno Smith headed back out for this next possession. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. Their lead back down to 1 score after the touchdown a moment ago. First down's a must on this drive as they start out here 1st and 10. He pushes through a would-be tackler to get about 3 yards, 2nd down.
And for the defense, this is a spot where you don't want to totally sell out to stop the run, but you do have a pretty good idea of what you're going to see. And that's good work right there to keep them in check on that 1st down carry.
He'll get that to Charbonnet. Finding space at the 40. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. It's a gain of 15, 1st down Seahawks.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Trying the left side with Walker. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 15 yards last play and 15 yards here this go-around.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Geno now to throw. Left side here, that's the tight end Fant. They'll give him 4 yards there, and it'll be 2nd down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
On the counter, it's Walker. And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line. The completion on 1st didn't get much, and now the run on 2nd doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down in his play sheet, trying to dial up a big 3rd down play.
Here's Smith. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 19. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
And that certainly appears to be a critical conversion right there, because not only do they keep the drive going, they take valuable time off the clock as well. They have to feel really good about that last completion.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Back to throw, Smith. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
And partner, to me, that one was all about timing. If he's there too early, it's going to be a pass interference call. If he's too late, it's a completed pass. He was Johnny on the spot on that one.
Smith, an incomplete pass on 1st down. Now it's 2nd and 10. Now back to throw. And he'll slide to a halt here, still a little shy of the 1st down marker. They'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down.
Kudos for the defense from me on that one, because they were prepared the whole way for him to try to escape and hit them for more yardage running it. I like the way they stayed zeroed in on him and kept him contained when he pulled the ball down. I think he was fortunate to get what he did on that run.
He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. And the defense coming through on 3rd down, a loss of 7 to bring up 4th.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
Myers' kick is good, and that'll push the lead up to 8. So a nice kick there as they are able to add on to their lead.
And that's exactly what you're looking to do. Maneuver yourself into range. That way, if your drive stalls out, you're able to get something out of it. And they do so right there.
Myers now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Vikings offense and their running back getting set for this next possession. And he has put in a full game's work and then some. Just an incredible performance on the ground to this point in the fourth quarter. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And remember, despite giving up the field goal, this is still a one-score game. They're in need of the touchdown and a two-point conversion. A field goal on this drive likely doesn't do them much good. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
Here's a 2nd and 9 now from the 29. Now Darnold. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. Doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
The Vikings on 3rd down. Can't fault these numbers. 7 for 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. The shotgun snap for Darnold. That is caught. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That catch puts him right at 100 yards receiving now, and it also gives him a 1st down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. Darnold. Going underneath, he's got Hockenson. So the completion good for 6 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
And there's a completion to the tight end, and look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
That's to the left side where he's got Naylor.
Complete to Jalen Naylor. An 8-yard pickup. 1st down, Vikings.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. Going underneath, he's got Hockenson. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
That completion helps out in a nice way. Now they can take a little bit more time, but guess what? They've got to make sure on their throws that they see it open, not just anticipate it.
Here's 2nd and a yard. Darnold. Looks again for T.J. Hockenson, and he's got him again. And Hockenson going to have the Vikings 1st down as he'll get the ball down inside the 30.
They got a completion there. That's clearly an example of one side happy, the other side not very happy. Defense, very, hey, take 1 or 2 yards. We're good with that. Offense, you got to expect to get more on the passing play.
And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'm guaranteed he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
Here's 2nd down. Darnold to throw. That's over the middle. He finds Naylor. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. Plenty of time and 2 timeouts still at their disposal. 1st and 10 here. Here's a give to Jones running left. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. He's having a big game running the football, but that one will hurt the yards per carry a little bit.
Yeah, but the average he's got so far, that's the type of average he wants to take with him to contract negotiations, doesn't he?
Another try from the 14 on 2nd and 10. Now Darnold. This one swung out here to Jones. And he's into the end zone. No flags. It's a touchdown. And now a 2-point conversion. And we'll be tied here in the final minute.
Do they have one big call left? Here we go. The touchdown's massive, but now they've got to have 2 to possibly take this to overtime.
Listen to this crowd now. Their guys need a stop on this 2-point conversion.
Will line up for the 2-point conversion.
And he is not going to reach the goal line. They were forced to go for it down 2, but the defense rises to the occasion, and they hold on to their lead. So with under 30 seconds to play, this is the game right here. And this is going to be taken in by the Seahawks. And it would appear they're on their way to victory now. The risk reward of the onside kick. When you don't get it, the risk comes out to play. And here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything, because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them, and field position leads you to that type of play calling. And whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things, now that they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock. The Seahawks in victory formation as they go ahead and take the knee. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Down to a knee, here goes Smith, and that should all but do it. Well, taking that knee, maybe just a sigh of relief. They withstood a big fourth-quarter comeback, able to hold on, though.
Certainly looked like they had things going their way, didn't it? And in the fourth quarter, they had to just hold on. As you said, furious assault on them, but they were able to get it done, take a knee, and head to the locker room with a win.
And here's Dixon to punt now as he gets this one away. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. What a game we were treated to in this one. And on that final play, they had a chance. They had the ball just beyond midfield for one final shot, but couldn't get it done, and they suffered a loss.
Yeah, and you mentioned how they had a chance on that final play, and getting it to midfield gave them that opportunity, hoping they could find their way to the end zone and make that miracle happen. A really good ending to an entertaining contest, though.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. It's a win for the Seahawks here as we say so long from Seattle.